Oh, it's Luke for Divine Star, and today I just want to talk about what I've been doing the last few months. And I just want to say this has been the third year that I've been working on Divine Star stuff, and this is the first year that I've actually had a finished game, product, and all that. Crystalline Bliss should be coming out next month. Everything got kind of delayed for good reasons, mostly because I've been working on a video game for money. That should be coming out in December, hopefully. I can't talk too much about it until the game is out, but it's a VR game, so I've been learning a lot. Working with actual professionals has been really enlightening for me. So I think moving into the next year of Divine Star is there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of upgrades. I'm going to be really rethinking a lot of my code, and yeah, just a lot of good things. So I just want to first jump into um, the improvements that I've made to Crystalline Bliss uh, and Divine Voxel Engine. Uh, so, uh, as you can see, the backgrounds are a lot less blurry and fuzzy because I've improved the bitmap system by tenfold. Basically, what was going on before is that it was trying to apply the 32 by 32 textures over the voxels, and it just looked really bad. And I also changed the Mipmap system to use the GPU functions instead of me just doing it by distance. So everything just looks a lot better. Um, just because I'm recording, I'm gonna put the distance back down. So, another big thing that I did for the game is that it's about uh, 10 times harder, and the AI is about 50 times smarter. So you can see now they're moving a little bit more naturally. They're they statistically find the best point to place, and then you use A-sharp pathfinding to get to that place. And I had to develop my own custom heuristic function to make it work like that. That's another new thing that you can see going on with the player 2 there. They have an effect that makes their pieces much bigger. So that's a new feature that's in the game, along with breakers. Uh, yeah, that computer died because they did not have any breakers to turn off the effects. Breakers are basically just kind of like breakers in Mortal Kombat Deception for the PS2, where someone was doing a combo on you, you could use a breaker and it would stop it. So the breakers here, they get rid of all effects and they get rid of all events. So it can be really handy when you get a bunch of stuff thrown at you and you have a breaker. You can just basically get rid of all of them. You get breakers through special new crystals called uh, loot crystals, which you need yellow crystals to break. So that's one of the big changes that makes everything harder is that like the purple crystals, the special crystals there, you actually need their associating color to pop them. They don't act like white crystals anymore. And white crystals basically they go with any color, so they can use them to pop anything. Uh, so like for those the red crystals, the crimson crystals that cause other events to happen or bad events to happen to the other players, you have to get the red crystals or just a bunch of crimson crystals to pop them, like I just did there. Bam. So this does make everything up just a little bit harder, and because of that, I had to basically the AI could no longer play the game, so I had to make it smarter. Yeah, a few people come to the Discord and made had some complaints about the controls, and you can see now everything moves really smooth. So you should be able. Hopefully, people like it now. All right, I'm probably not gonna lose in a reasonable amount of time. Um, So among other things, I've been fixing a lot of bugs. But the achievements now, these will show up in Steam. They have proper images and tell you how to unlock them. This is not my local profile that I've been playing on for dev testing, so I don't have any of these levels unlocked. So, but I've shown those off before. Okay, it's acting kind of weird. But what I want to show you now is just what I've been doing for Divine Star. I moved everything into one big mono repo. So under the folder Divine Voxel, you will find all the associated packages for Divine Voxel Engine now. Sorry. Core is basically what the engine was before, and then data is just, it's a implementation of one of the interfaces that you have to implement to get infinite world generation working, so it has some place to store it. But this is just the basic setup that I designed, where you have stuff synced to your IndexedDB and you can sync it to a node server also. Entity component system, I got rid of some of the other plugins that I made and I combined it into one. So this combines the physics, the player, and the pixel entity libraries into one. And eventually I'm going to be adding a whole component system for entities and all that, because I've learned a lot more about all that stuff, so I just want to make sure that this is the best that it can possibly be for games going forward, whether for me or for anyone else wanting to make a game with Divine Voxel Engine. This has not changed. This is infinite world generation. This is just basically what it says, just for adding infinite generation to any voxel game. Lastly, this is something I'm going to be working on kind of off and on in the future. It would be cool if I could get it up to par with like React 3 Fiber, but I want to make a whole React library just for Divine Voxel Engine. All I have right now is just one hook. And what that lets you do is just easily use it in React. So use DVE, just you give it the textures, paths to the workers, all that, or the actual workers in this case. And then, yeah, I think in the future I'll have it set up where you won't have to mess with any of this stuff, and it'll just kind of like pass the code to the different workers and set it up for you. But generally, yeah, this is normally how you use Divine Voxel Engine, is you have the main thread, and then you need at least these two threads to get anything working. Because the constructor builds the stuff, world handles all the world data, and voxel data and syncing, all of that. The last part of the repo here is Divine Star, and this is another section, I guess, but these are all libraries that are kind of related to games, and the engine itself uses most of them. It uses utils, voxel spaces, threads, shaders, IndexedDB, binary, compression. These are the ones I use directly. Controls is my own personal control library for JavaScript. I needed something more flexible for what I was doing. Yeah, you can, like some of these, like the threads library, this is the backbone of Divine Voxel Engine, because Divine Voxel Engine's main point is that it's completely multi-threaded, and this is just how it does all of that. RNG, this is where I've kept a lot of the random number generation code and noise code that I've been working with for just generating stuff here. So if you want like a TypeScript Perlin noise class, you can use this. A lot of these are just ones that I've found online and converted to TypeScript. So yeah, the library, I'm still working on everything. I'm upgrading everything. I'm trying to move it all from alpha to beta. And I'm considering when the game is fully out on Steam, it's going to be basically the engine is going to be in beta, just because it's actually being used in a commercial product and tested instead of just me working on it locally here. So through the trial fire of all by that, the engine will keep getting better. I do have a lot of plans for it in the next year or so. What I want to do is get really into web GPU and take the multi-threading aspect to the next level. I've been trying to figure out how I could generate thousands of chunks at once on the GPU and then bring that back. Because I think the games I want to build, the Dream Space Infinite, Imperium, Crystalline Dread, they're going to be huge worlds, and I don't think even me, I don't want to sit around every time I go into a dimension like 5 minutes for it to load the world. So any degree of speed I could bring to that would be amazing. I think even just moving sunlight updates to the GPU would be a lot faster. The biggest problem that is server usage. So if you were to host a server for the game, your server now has to have a GPU. But I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'm going to see if that works. This is one of the biggest things I really want to try out. Another thing is I'm going to try to add VR support for Divine Voxel Engine, and that's going to be kind of a big deal. Eventually, Dream Space Infinite and Imperium Crystalline Dread, I want it to be where you're actually walking around in the world and you can put on a VR headset and actually experience that. So I kind of have to redesign the UIs, redesign the whole system to support that, and I need to rethink what I've been doing to allow for that. So yeah, and to be clear, I'm not like, this is my third year working on Divine Voxel Engine or Divine Star. This is like, yeah, and I only graduated college in like 2020, and I only have a minor in computer science. So I'm not an expert in any of this stuff really, but I've been spending an enormous amount of time learning about rendering, multi-threading, binary data, and all that. So Divine Voxel Engine is kind of like my public research project that I'm just giving out for free. I want people to learn from it, but I don't want people to think that I'm an expert in any of this. So I'm still looking for the best answers myself. I think, yeah. And generally, just I want to reiterate, like, my main plan is I don't really want to make a Minecraft clone. I'm not very interested in Minecraft type games. I've not played it in a long time. Someone that was very close to me that we played Minecraft together, they're no longer in my life because of mental health issues that were not my fault. So it's just kind of hard for me to really want to come back to Minecraft, but I think the whole new angle that I'm taking on voxel engines is pretty interesting. It's really hard for me to explain everything that's in my head about where the dimensions come from, where my whole ideas are coming from. But these last few months, I've just been so busy working 60, 80 hours a week that I've just not had time to really focus on it. But hopefully soon in December, the game will be fully released. You can buy it on Steam. I can start learning from that and then keep progressing Divine Star forward. Divine Star is a lifelong project, and I will keep working on it until I die. And I'm never gonna sell it because it's mine. And I just want to keep it pure, what it's all about. And I don't think anyone would really understand if they just bought it from me. So lastly, just I'm still on the Discord. If you have any questions for me, I've stopped using the Discord so much just because I felt when we first launched not necessarily that I didn't act inappropriately. It's just that I'm a very private person, and I need to embrace the fact that I just need a massive amount of alone time. So I only entertain like serious questions from people. If you need help with the engine, if you have any questions about voxels or anything like that, I'm happy to answer that. But generally, I'm too busy to form relationships online or talk to people, so just don't take them personally. I'm just, I got enough friends and stuff to deal with to try to keep them happy. But I'm always happy to answer questions, but always remember that I'm not an expert. This is a learning process for me. I'm sharing my learning process, and a lot of people think I'm crazy or I want to start a cult, which is really funny because I am the biggest, uh, you know, shy, introverted loner, and I just don't want anything to deal with any of that. I don't want to tell people what to think. I don't want to tell people what to do. I just want to make cool shit and upload it. And if yeah. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will keep posting updates. Everything's going pretty good in terms of all of that. Divine Star is going to be on the map soon. I'm going to have a game, real game underneath my belt with another team, like an actual real team. So everything's going good. I'm really happy. And thank you for supporting Divine Star, and I hope to, keep seeing you guys around. I know some of your usernames now, and I've recognize some of you guys. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.